What up with it, YouTube? It's Coffee back at it, man. And Jay-Z and Dame Dash, the beef runs deep between these two, man. You know, it was the Roc-a-Fella Dream Team, state property. Dipset was even over there. And then we saw the split happen. And things have went how they went since then, man. Hov went on to build the Roc Nation empire. He's trying to open up a casino, all types of big business, doing big things, man, helping individuals get out of prison, is all that. And Dame Dash just trying to, cash in any way he can, man. Failed streaming services and just a lot, man. It's been rough for Dame, but he's trying to sell off his, portions of Roc-a-Fella, the reasonable doubt dividends that he got coming to him. I don't know if it's 25% and whatever else, all this stuff from the Roc, man, intellectual property and stuff like that. And Jay-Z has been going, doing whatever he can to stall it out, and, with these lawsuits. And it's to the point where they're having to have these auctions and the feds are involved. And you know what I mean? He's just like saying, hey, I got time. I got my Roc Nation empire. And Dame, you'll get what you get and you'll wait for it. It really shows you how deep the beef runs. It's so crazy to think that's how it was all along. Memph Bleak and some others on interviews, I think Memph on Drink Champs was talking about, he tried to let Dame know on that uncomfortable flight. Nori said he was there and just Dame wasn't understanding it, man. So Jay-Z had to part ways and do what he had to do. And here we are now. You see Dame Dash posting this up. People that says, man, he said, if somebody is messing up my money, I'm speaking on it. I don't care what y'all say. Appreciate you, the Source Magazine, for reporting things exactly the way they are. And check it out, the Source put this up. Reasonable doubt. City of New York calls out Jay-Z's attempts to devalue Dame Dash's share of Roc-a-Fella prior to auction. So like I said, with everything not being able to be mediated through these these legal proceedings and everything, arbitration attempts that were failed, everything, like they're having to have the auctions and the federal government has to see it through, and then Dame gets his shares and they're saying Jay is trying to devalue it all. He's like, yo, I got what I got. Fuck what Dame's gonna get, man. I'll devalue it if I got to. Like, he's just really going at any lengths to really stick it to Dame Dash. Pause, right? No Diddy. Check it out, though. It says right here, the New York, Department of Social Services has called out Jay-Z in a federal court. Can't read that very well. In a federal court filing, accusing him of making false claims that have poisoned the upcoming auction of Dame Dash's 1/3 shares of Roc-a-Fella. So I was wrong. It wasn't 25%. It was 33.3%. So a third of the Roc, to poison Dame Dash 1/3 shares of Roc-a-Fella Records, which Dash planned to pay his substantial debts, including unpaid child support to two women. So you see how bad it is for Dame. He's trying to catch up on bad child support. I think he owes the federal government money as well. So it's just all bad for Dame and all gravy for Hov and the Roc Nation empire. And let's see what else it says. In 94, Roc-a-Fella Records was founded by Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Kareem Biggs Burke. I got to stop there and say, everyone is made up and is back on good terms except for Dame. Ain't that something? With an $823,000 judgment against him in federal court and $145,096 in unpaid child support, and an unpaid New York State tax bill of $8.7 million, Dash recently announced that he would auction off his 1/3 share in Roc-a-Fella, although the auction is being held as part of the federal court proceeding. NYC DSS has priority to recover the unpaid child support amounts. Roc-a-Fella's primary asset is Jay-Z's album Reasonable Doubt. Other entities now own the rest of the music initially released by Roc-a-Fella and not part of this dispute. Jay-Z and Burke previously sought to derail the auction by intervening in the federal lawsuit and attempting to block the auction by arguing that changes to Roc-a-Fella Inc.'s bylaws required their approval of any sale. So see, that's what I'm saying. You see all the debts Dame Dash has. Individuals are laughing at him because his teeth are falling out. All this is going on. It's all bad. Jay-Z sitting back like a fat cat. Like I said, he has his own empire. He's out here wheeling and dealing, trying to put a Caesar's Palace in Manhattan, gonna break off Hell's Kitchen with all this money in other neighborhoods and stuff like that. Like, he's got all this going on, and he's like, yo, Dame, fluck, you trying to get your 33.3%, your third of the rock. We'll do whatever we gotta do to stall it and poison it. You know what I mean? So basically, what it's saying there, they attempted to block the auction by arguing that changes to Roc-a-Fella Inc.'s bylaws required their approval of any sale. So they're like, yo, not only are we going to stall it, we're saying we ain't even trying to have the auction. We're blocking it. But it seems, the auction is going to happen, but there's just all these different tactics. You know what I mean? Like, more or less, y'all see the way the game does all this bullish, cooking the books, moving money around, putting everything in Whack 100's names, scamming off Instagram accounts. Anytime, like with that girl that he owes those millions for the actual assault lawsuit, that he was found liable for. Like, everything he's done to stall that out and make that not happen, her getting the money. Like, Hove and Kareem Biggs Burke are seemingly using similar tactics, different situations, but the same idea. Let's stall him out. Let's, not let him get his ends, and Dame Dash is literally, like you see, unpaid tax bills, child support, teeth falling out, broke as fuck, and this is how Jay-Z's rocking. And Dame Dash does these interviews dissing Jay. Jay just sits back, not mentioning Dame, treating him like he don't even exist, and just doing what he's got to do. Is wild, man. Who would have ever thunk it would have came to this in those Roc-a-Fella Dream Team days when they couldn't miss? You know what I'm saying? When Dame Dash was, talking about the Armadale vodka and dancing with the bottles and the videos and all that. Who would have ever thunk it would have came to this, But it just goes to show you that there was trouble brewing, tensions from way back. You know what I mean? The court rejected their arguments, ruling that the changes to the bylaws were unenforceable because they had been made without Dash's input, and suggesting that Jay-Z and Burke participate in the auction and place their own bid. So the court ruled against them, right? But it still is stalling everything out. And who knows, they might have some more tricks up their sleeve in the meantime. Thereafter, Jay-Z made public statements claiming that he personally has a termination right under copyright law to take back ownership of the copyright in the album in 7 years. So any purchaser's rights would be strictly limited to that period. So on top of it, he's saying in 7 years, the copyright of Reasonable Doubt and all that is going to revert back to me. So anyone out there, wanting to place a bid in this auction that we've been trying to block by laws, this, that, and the third, but it's still going to happen. You're only going to own it for 7 years. If that is indeed actual factual, it's just a whole lot of, underhanded moves and such, it seems, going on. I don't know. Comment and let me know if you feel that's like how it seems. Jay-Z's statement to the press have poisoned the environment for the auction. He has claimed that he has a termination right under the Copyright Act and that the rights to reasonable doubt will revert to him in 6 years. In fact, he has no such termination right, and Roc-a-Fella is entitled to the renewal term, which is now 67 years, meaning it will own the copyrights until the year 2098. In other words, the highest possible auction price could be more than 10 times higher than is likely now, given Jay-Z and Roc-a-Fella's actions. The motion further characterized Jay-Z's statements as false and extremely damaging to the city's interests in ensuring that the auction will generate sufficient funds to satisfy all existing child support or arrearages. I think that just means back child support, I don't know, and secure future child support payments. NYCDSS attached to its motion a copy of Jay-Z's 95 recording agreement pointing to language that it claims to expressly contradict his claim of a termination right under copyright law. So, the New York State Department of Social Services is getting involved. They're saying this is not true, that the termination, rights and the time period where it will revert back to him and it'll be good to 2098. They're like, yo, we're just trying to get this squared up so Dame Dash can pay his child support, his tax bill, and whatever else, and get some new teeth. And Jay-Z saying, yo, we don't give a fuck Dame, NYCDSS's motion seeks a court order staying the auction until the court issues a ruling on whether Jay-Z possesses any termination right in ordering Roc-a-Fella to provide royalty records for the Reasonable Doubt album and to produce a witness for a deposition. The city of New York appears to have had enough of Jay-Z's campaign to devalue Dash's share of Roc-a-Fella before the auction, at the expense of all those to whom Dame Dash owes money, including mothers of his children, the plaintiff in the federal lawsuit, which I forget who that is, and the beneficiaries of Dash's many millions owed in tax revenue. The full court filing can be read here, which, that's, posted from the article. So if you want to see that, go tap into that at the source. I ain't gonna pull it up. I just wanted to show y'all how petty Jay is being a Dame and just saying, hey Dame, like, look, you can really see the beef runs deep. And like I said, him and Biggs Burke had fell out at one point, I believe, in that Lenny S dude. I feel like everyone had their differences, but in the end, everyone's back fucking with Hove, and Dame Dash is over here just trying to pay all these debts off and get some new teeth. It's a mess, man. Let's read a couple of these and comments, see what the people are talking about. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for updates. But real talk, man, who would have ever thunk it, man? Like, this was the Rock, man. Remember Jay-Z, Armadale poppin' more, only bring the Rock. Armadale poppin' now, only bring the Rock more. Like, it was all that until it wasn't, man. It's crazy. This individual says, it has nothing to do with the money. That's Jay's original music catalog. The joints on there will go down in history. Jay wants the ownership as a legacy to his children, not to pay child support to a bunch of BMs. However, to establish a constant income stream for all their children. Politics as usual. So if you go back, and it's interesting, this comment this individual left here, right? If you go back to what Jay-Z was saying way back when the breakup happened. He was talking about reasonable doubt and wanting to be able to keep on ownership of like his legacy. He did say that. So at the same time, it seems he's being so petty, and we know Dame's so broke with his teeth falling out of his mouth, owing baby mamas and all that. You know what I mean? Ain't that so ironic? Jay's trying to leave his legacy. Dame's trying to pay baby moms off. And to the point, Department of Social Services is like, come on, Hove, you're killing this auction. It's just ironic, don't you think, in my Alanis Morissette voice. Dame, you alive and healthy. Them dudes gonna pay for how they treated you. God protects his angels. So this individual's taking Dame's side. It really makes you wonder what really went on behind closed doors to have this kind of tension. You know what I mean? Like, this is some serious, like, deep-seated, I don't want to say hatred, because hate is a strong word, but Jay don't fuck with Dame. Period. And, you know, Dame's out here calling Jay the ultimate snake. But I don't know. Jay-Z builds a lot of positive relationships with a lot of people. You know, it kind of reminds me, like I was referencing the game a little while back, right? So often when we've been, you know, in the content that I've been making and the discussions I've been having, when we've been speaking about 50 Cent and everything he's doing with Shreveport, G-Unit Studios, you know, got everything shaking and moving there. He's evolved beyond being a rapper. And then you look at someone like The Game, who's crying about the Super Bowl shit. He ain't at the Kendrick pop-up show. He's jealous of Kendrick's success. You know what I'm saying? They're putting murals up in Compton, and The Game ain't even featured on them. You know, it's like K-Dot passed you up. He's who you could never be. And listen, I keep saying whenever that comes up, like, I'm a Game fan. But it's like what we're talking about here. Jay flourished, built relationships, built a whole nother empire. Dame Dash been struggling to keep his teeth in his mouth, right? And same thing, like Fifths continued, you know, to build. The Games continued to destroy and burn bridges. Some people build, some destroy. Some people cannot coexist with others. And, you know, like if you look, there's a pattern of Dame Dash falling out with everyone and their mama and his baby mamas that want their child support money. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy. Department of Social Services is involved. Like, it's wild, man. You preach ownership to us, but yet you don't want to give a man ownership of his creation. So someone here calling Dame a hypocrite, you know, like you preach ownership and all this entrepreneurial spirit, you know, independent, going up against the machine and all that, but you want to sell your third because you's broke and your teeth are falling out your mouth, you know. Someone says, Jay being petty. Fact is, you blew everything being a boss, and now you grasping at straws. Shit sad, for real. It is what it is. Comment and let me know if you agree with that. And speaking of Fifth and Game, y'all seen, you know, that clip when $1 million worth of Game, Gilly and Wallow sat down and chopped it up with 50 Cent. And, you know, they were talking about the deal with Eminem, you know, where he got an amazing deal. You know, his career went to the next level Fifth had went through everything, getting shot, getting dropped from Columbia Records, getting taken off the J-Lo song and replaced by Nas, you know, getting blackballed up out the industry more or less, being back off a label independent, having to go all the way to Canada to secure studio time, because this is pre-Pro Tools and Fruity Loops and all that, and you got to get in the studio and do you. And he was making them G-Unit mixtapes, which got Eminem's attention and all that, right? And you know, he was saying, hey, M noticed me, signed me. After that, you know, we know what it was. The rollout, the countdown to Get Rich or Die Trying, one of the dopest hip-hop albums of all time. An amazing debut in a rap game. and just everything that came with that and all the hard work from 50 Cent. And, they was talking about when he got signed by him, he got a great deal and he got that mill out the deal and still on the grind and walked away with $1 million cash after taxes and all that. And he was saying how Dame Dash was like clowning him, like $1 million ain't really worth nothing after you look out for the homies and get a chain and do this, that, and the third. That ain't really no real money. And he's like, yo, $1 million is $1 million. And look at Dame, he's broke now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what someone's saying here. Like, yo, you blew all your money and now you out here acting like a sucker, like basically saying, like the last comment we read a moment ago about ownership and then trying to sell out because she's broke and you can't pay your baby moms and your teeth are falling out your mouth. Like, you're a hypocrite and you can't, maintain a relationship with no one. I mean, things just kind of speak for themselves when you really dig into certain situations. And to me, like, it does seem like Jay's being a bit petty, you know what I mean? But like, Jay's entitled to do what Jay wants. And I don't know, there just seems to be a reason for all this, if you ask me. Again, jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new over here. We talk music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more, man. But yeah, man, Dame Dash, shit's all bad. You would think that a billionaire wouldn't block anyone else from getting money. We'll read 3 more comments and then we'll close this out, y'all. This is still crazy. No one is answering how can one make their money back if they buy this. If Jay-Z and Biggs have to agree in a 3-way vote to allow the buyer to advertise the music or sell merch based on reasonable doubt, Jay-Z and Biggs can vote no every time and no one makes money. Am I correct, Dame? Because I'm sure you would have been doing this, getting paid off, if so. And that's an interesting question there. Like, we're seeing all this stuff about the bylaws and the auction and the Department of Social Service, because they want that child support money, is saying like, Jay-Z just being on some bullish. But seriously, like, there's 3 individuals involved in this and he's only selling 1/3 of it. Like, that one individual that buys this third, aren't they going to end up asked out anyways, because they're just going to be in the same boat that Dame's in? Biggs and Hove ain't going to go along with whatever they're trying to do. So it doesn't really seem like an attractive deal for anyone to get involved in this auction. Incoming Jay-Z fans saying anything and everything else but this truth. Moved on, big man. Through all the ups and downs, Dame never stopped teaching about independence and ownership. But then, like someone else pointed out, he trying to sell his share, right? It's the unpaid child support for me. They wouldn't even be involved if they wasn't getting a cut. That's super big facts. That's just what this is, man. You know what I mean? And Dame's out here like saying to the source, y'all are telling it exactly like it is. But some of these comments, like this one that this gentleman just put, is really touching on the real, truth. And last comment, true hater. That just lets you know throughout y'all run, he was envious the entire time. That's weak as hell or something. I don't know. Weak ASL. I don't know. But I don't know, man. There you have it. Jay-Z, Dame Dash 2024 still at odds. Reasonable doubt. Child support. Teeth falling out motherfuckers' mouths. The auction. What do you guys think about it all? Let's chop it up in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe once again. It's Coffee. And I'm gone, y'all. Peace.